It is June 27th, another beautiful day out here on Cape Cod for tonight's matchup between the Cotuit Kettleers and the YD Red Sox, an East-West Division matchup. And we're just about a quarter of the way through the season. Things are getting hot in both division races. This is the Cotuit Kettleers pregame show. I'm Chris Albright, joined alongside Connor Shue. The Kets come into this one with a 2-7-1 record, taking on a red-hot YD, who is 7-2-1, nearly an inverse of the Kettleers. But the Kets, Connor, they're on a 2-game undefeated streak.
They are. Last game tied 6-6 back home against a tough Chatham Anglers team that beat them the first time. And Kets had their season high in hits, 13. And I don't think it's crazy to say that's their best offensive performance of this young season. Had 8 hits in each of the games before, and they just continue to do it a little bit better at the plate, but unfortunately could not get in the win column.
29 hits in the last 3 games for the Kettleers. It has really been a stark difference from how Cotuit started this season. In the first 7 games, only 1 extra base hit, and that was hit opening day. I know we've touched on it throughout this year, but now 8 extra base hits for the Kettleers. It seems the bats have come alive, and who really has stood out in this offensive resurgence for the Kettleers for you, Connor?
Well, yesterday it was a couple of guys. Nolan Stevens had 3 hits, drove in a run on one of those 3 singles. Camden Johnson had a really nice day, a double and a single. And, of course, at the top of the lineup, Jared Advincula, igniting things per usual, 2 for 6, a couple of base knocks, just manages to create chaos in the base paths whenever he's out there. So having him at the top of the order has helped so much. And can't forget about Rentaro Sasaki. Had the first long ball of the summer for the Cotuit Kettleers. Those 4 are guys that I really look to kind of start the offensive barrage for the Kettleers. That's what happened a couple of days ago on Wednesday, and I think they're going to continue to contribute today.
Well, we've talked a lot about the different pieces that kind of work themselves into this Cotuit lineup day in and day out. But now there seems to be a bit of consistency, especially in the lineup card. You have Advincula, who will typically be a leadoff guy, but throwing in Sasaki as a DH who can kind of hit from anywhere, that's been helpful. I mean, the consistency we're starting to see, how has that really been such a driving force for this Cotuit team? Because over the past couple of games, the lineup has remained fairly consistent.
In the majority of these games, well, Advincula, whenever he's been with the team, he's been leading off. Ryan Farber has been at that 3-hole for almost every single game this season, as is Nolan Stevens at the cleanup spot. Andrew Wiggins, whenever he's hitting second, it seems like things tend to go well for this offense. And I think that's your core 4 at the top you want to kind of stick with for most of this season. And talk about that consistency. This lineup has looked the best when those guys are near their top. And even with Camden Johnson slotting in there every once in a while, he's hitting 6th today. But I think those 5 guys are really your key consistent pieces that have got things going. Rentaro starting to acclimate as well with that group, but that's really made for a solid top of the lineup.
You look at the number of players on Cotuit's roster from a hitter standpoint. After a couple of cuts, the roster size getting thinned down a little bit. Where it stands right now, Cotuit has 11 eligible hitters in their lineup today. That's not including any of the new roster spots announced today. So these guys have really been going in, day out, and contributing to this lineup. I mean, we talked with Coach Hibbs on the Coaches Show just on this past Wednesday, and he was very candid about it. These guys are starting to get tired. I mean, it has been a grueling grind to get to this point. Guys that work the camps and then come to the game. It's not a whole lot of spot in this lineup for guys to get that rest, but they've handled it so well. I mean, to have these past 3 games be played at the level of talent that the Kettleers have, with the amount of rest and the reps that they're getting, I mean, it is truly something else.
I agree with you, and I think it's really a hallmark that they were allowed to work through those troubles, because you said it again, 11 position players. A lot of these guys have been playing every day and getting consistent reps to work through their struggles.
Well, we're about to sing the national anthem here at Merrill Red Wilson Field in YD. So we'll take a quick break and then come back to you with lineups, starting pitchers, and more.
The Kettleers 50-50 raffle is brought to you by 4 Seas Ice Cream in Centerville, the oldest ice cream shop in Massachusetts. They've been in business 91 years, carrying many of the same unbelievable flavors. Visit 4 Seas Ice Cream and taste the difference. Get your 50-50 raffle tickets now.
From bean to bite, sip, savor, and share a moment at Cape Cod Coffee. Their 2 Mashpee locations include the perfect brunch spot at Mashpee Commons and a lunch and dinner restaurant with a full bar right off Route 130. Cape Cod Coffee has also opened a new location in Wareham Crossing, where you can indulge in delicious breakfast, lunch, and dinner options. Visiting any of these locations will leave you absolutely thrilled. Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
The Kettleers are sponsored by longtime Cotuit residents Pat and John Callahan of Kinlan Grover Compass. With over 4 decades of experience in commercial lending and real estate, Pat and John are the go-to choice for all things real estate in Cotuit and surrounding towns. Visit them at 681 Falmouth Road in Mashpee. That's the Callahans from Kinlan Grover Compass, proud sponsors and longtime fans of the Kettleers.
Be safe and comfortable in your home in any season with a Generac automatic standby generator from RCA Electric and Generators in.
Just wrapped up the national anthem. We are getting closer and closer to first pitch here at Red Wilson Field for this matchup between the Kettleers and the YD Red Sox. Chris Albright joined alongside Connor Shue, wrapping up our pregame show. Connor, guess we got to set the scene for everyone. How do the Kettleers step up to bat today?
Leading this one off, per usual, it's Jaron Advincula batting left-handed, playing second base. Then it's Andrew Wiggins in the 2-hole, Ryan Farber batting third, Nolan Stevens cleanup, Jack Natilli back in the order, batting fifth, Camden Johnson hitting 6th, Anderson French 7th, Rentaro Sasaki batting 8th, and Easton Winfield rounding things out, batting in the 9-hole. They'll be facing off against the starting pitcher Hunter Watkins out of Oklahoma State, 64 2/3 innings at school. And behind him, his defense, Chris Akopian at third, Jomar Carreras at short. At second, it's Cody Miller, Dean Carpentier at first, Jake Bold behind the dish, Garrett Wright in left, Gasparino in center, and Braden Dowd in right field for the YD Red Sox.
Those are the lineups for both teams today. Both teams also rocking shades of red. It is Red Shirt Friday here on Cape, sponsored by the Massachusetts State Lottery, which means the home team will be wearing red. That is YD. Red uniforms, camo wording across the front, white pants, matching up against the Kettleers, wearing their maroon road uniforms, white pants with the thin maroon pinstripes, and maroon socks. First pitch is, well, we'll say what is that? The celebrity, not a celebrity first pitch.
You could call it that.
Yeah, we'll call it a celebrity first pitch is happening right now, and young kid has an arm, just fired a strike to the YD catcher. Jake Bold, who's doing the catching duties. Field dimensions here at Red Wilson Field. It's got a bit of a quaint vibe, you could say. It's a cozy park. 346 to left field, 352 to center field, and 338 to right field. Smaller than your average ballpark, so how do they compensate for it? Well, there's about an 8-foot tall fence surrounding this ballpark from foul pole to foul pole. So any home run needs to carry that larger fence. Doing the coaching duties from the corners today for Cotuit. Down the third base line, it's Kevin Frady. And along the first base line, it looks to be Matt Flaherty doing the first base coaching for the Kettleers, who are coming up to bat first today. So Frady and Flaherty have gone to their respective coaches' boxes. Hunter Watkins up on the mound is wrapping up his warm-up pitches. Watkins standing at 6'9", 233. Very tall man out on the bump, sporting a orangish-brown glove. Good contrast from his red jersey and white pants. Again, the lineup for the Kettleers: Advincula, Wiggins, Farber, Stevens, Natili, Johnson, French, Sasaki, and Winfield. Watkins has just finished up his warm-up pitches. Advincula takes a couple of practice swings before he'll dig into the left-handed batter's box. Everyone is all set. The third baseman, Hakopian, playing in on the grass, prepared for Advincula, who is quite the contact king. First pitch coming up right now is swung on and belted towards center field. Gets over a leaping Carreras at shortstop. Take a couple hops into the glove of Gasparino in center, who will fire it in. Advincula stands on first after a first pitch single to start things off here today. First pitch was at 5:03 p.m. local. A balmy and blustery 67 degrees. Advincula's on first, no one out. Wiggins is up. The first pitch to the lefty. He takes a bit low for ball one. Infield stays at double play depth, especially in the middle infield, but the third baseman, Hakopian, playing in for the second straight left-handed batter. Watkins with a long pause out on the mound. Now delivers. Looping off speed, breaking ball for strike one. Outfield is straight away, playing a lot deeper. Well, it looks deeper. A lot closer to the fence, but it is tucked in here. The 1-1 pitch. Same breaking ball, just missed inside, ball two. Everyone on YD with the white pants down to their cleats, no socks showing. Wiggins, the left-hander, his pants are completely down to his cleats. Will get a pickoff attempt over to first, not in time. Advincula back safely with a head-first slide. Wiggins on the season is hitting .292. That's been ballooned over the past couple of games. He had 3 hits in the last contest. Another pickoff attempt, not in time. That was Wednesday against Chatham at Lowell Park. Wiggins went 3 for 4. He was also intentionally walked in his last plate appearance. The 2-1 pitch, Advincula goes. Check swing, didn't go around. Throw down to second, not in time. Wiggins didn't go around, but it looked like it was called strike 2.
Think so, and Jaron Advincula, his 7th stolen bases this season, not to mention his first as a Georgia Tech player, transferred over there officially yesterday.
A yellow jacket now. He's dancing. The 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Wiggins down looking. The first strikeout of the contest for Hunter Watkins. Ryan Farber will now step up, a switch hitter. Auburn commit after he finished up his time at Texas State. Farber standing at 5'11", 190. Similar build as Jaron Advincula. The first pitch to him, swung on and belted towards left field. Measuring and making the catches right on the run. Advincula will stay put at second base, 2 away.
Now batting for Cotuit from Mississippi State, the right fielder.
Nolan Stevens, another left-handed hitter in this Cotuit lineup. In fact, looking at the lineup card today, the only true right-handed hitter, Jack Natilli, he's on deck. Ryan Farber's a switch hitter, so could see him bat from the right side of the plate as well today. The righty Watkins delivers. Avincula with another stolen base. That one is uncontested as Bold, the catcher, did not make a throw down to third.
Don't think he wanted to risk that one going out into left field. Avincula would have easily been able to score, and it's what you talk about. He creates chaos for other teams when he's on the bases, and that time they wanted nothing to do with it.
Runner on third with 2 out. The pitch. And it hits him. Nolan Stevens just got plunked in the calf area. He'll walk it off down to first base. Cotuit with 2 aboard and 2 out. Stevens, that was his first time getting hit by a pitch this season. One of the few remaining Kets who have not. The catcher for YD, Jake Bold, has his mask propped up. He's giving signs to the infield. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Avincula with a lot of speed over at third base. The right-handed hitter Natilli's up. Very open stance. The pitch. Swinging and a miss on a ball a bit low and away. Natilli's front foot, his left foot being a right-handed hitter, a lot further back in his stance, almost on the chalk on the outside of the batter's box. The 0-1. Swung on and ripped towards center field, straight away center field, and measuring it at the wall is Gasparino, and he'll make the catch. Natilli was hunting all 352 feet towards center field. We'll take a quick break. Middle of the first, we will not take a quick break. We'll kick it to the third member of our team, Brooke Kilgore. Brooke.
Fans from last year and our own Chris Albright may remember the stance and pitch of YD's starting arm, Hunter Watkins. The rising junior appeared in 3 outings for the Kettleers last season, finishing with a 2.54 ERA and 6 strikeouts and 7.1 innings pitched. The Oklahoma State Cowboys finished his sophomore year with 64 and two-third innings pitched, 70 Ks, and a 5.43 ERA. The year before, he played for GCU and is friends with Chris, apparently, who witnessed Watkins' 47 strikeouts and 47 innings of work. Now wearing the Red Sox apparel, he faces a familiar Kettleers organization. Connor and Chris, back to you.
Chris Albright, best friends with Hunter Watkins. We go way back. We'll take a break here. Bottom of the first coming up on the Kettleers Digital Network.
Mashpee. RCA does it all, from consultation to installation to maintenance. For more information, visit rcaelectric.com. RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee, generating trust.
The Kettleers Top of the Order is brought to you by Boston Hand to Shoulder, trusted orthopedic specialists for athletes and everyday people. Their expert team treats everything from sports injuries to everyday wear and tear, helping patients of all ages get back to what they love. Boston Hand to Shoulder is now on the Cape. Call 617-965-HAND for all your hand and upper extremity needs.
The Kettleers Interns in the very popular T-shirt toss is brought to you by Paul J. Casalt & Sons, certified roofing experts, proudly serving Cape Cod and Plymouth since 1927. If you've got roofing, siding, or gutter needs, let the Casalt family take care of your family.
Be safe and comfortable in your home in any season with a Generac automatic standby generator from RCA Electric and Generators.
Down.
As YD steps up to the plate, Connor Shue, how will they line up?
Braden Dowd is leading off, then it's Cody Miller, Chris Acopi, and Garrett Wright, Will Gasparino, Will Baker, Jomar Carreras, Jake Bold, and Dean Carpentier.
A good mix of lefties and righties in this YD lineup. Taking on the left-handed pitcher for Cotuit, Kenton Deverman, who is making his 3rd start. And before a pitch can be thrown, the home plate umpire, Rick Force, will step out from behind the plate and tell Deverman that he needs to make eye contact with the batter, Braden Dowd. It will be a lefty-lefty matchup. Now Deverman gives a nod. The pitch, fastball upstairs for ball 1. Deverman has a 5.40 ERA through his 2 games pitched. The pitch, that one's belted in to shallow left field. Wiggins will play it on a couple hops. It's another leadoff single. Dowd matching what Avincula was able to do for Cotuit as the leadoff man.
And the thing with Deverman, he's done a great job at limiting walks. Hasn't allowed 1 in over 6 innings pitched, but has been hit around a little bit, and that's where that 540 earned run average comes from.
Deverman has allowed now 10 hits on the season through 6 2/3 innings pitched. Only 4 earned runs. He's had no walks in 6 pitches. Showing bunt is Miller. He puts it towards the mound. Deverman fields. Throw to first is in time to retire Cody Miller, but Dowd has reached second safely.
Nice little sacrifice off the bat of Cody Miller. Softly towards the pitcher's mound. More than enough time for Dowd to advance.
Chris Hakopian will now dig in for the Red Sox. Swinging a right-handed stick. Staring down the lefty on the mound, Deverman, with a runner on second. Deverman checks the runner, now will fire. Belt high, strike 1. Farber is tying his shoe over at shortstop. Both him and Avincula playing shaded towards the middle of the infield. The 0-1 pitch. Ripped on the ground right towards Avincula behind second base. He'll make an easy throw over to first to retire Hakopian. And the first run of the ball game, Dowd, he advances to third.
Hakopian put a good swing on it, but straight to the sure-handed Avincula over at second. Made the easy play.
The Kettleers got a base runner to third in the top of this first inning. And Avincula was unable to be brought home. Now here with 2 outs for the Red Sox, they themselves have a runner on third, looking to break open scoring in this one. First pitch is a fastball strike to Garrett Wright, the 4-hole hitter for the Red Sox. White batting gloves, he'll adjust his blue batting helmet. The 0-1 pitch from Deverman, kicks and deals. Upstairs, ball 1. Large gap on the left side of the infield as the third baseman Johnson is playing about 6 or so feet from the third base line. The pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball down the middle that Wright could not catch up with. Garrett Wright on the season, 4 for 17, hitting at a .235 average. 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. The pitch, that one's popped in the air towards right field. Stevens measuring, camps out underneath, and he'll make the catch. Both teams able to get a runner to third, unable to do anything with it. When we return, top of the second, it will be 6, 7, and 8 due up for Cotuit, Johnson, French, and Sasaki. Mashpee. RCA does it all, from consultation to installation to maintenance. For more information, visit rcaelectric.com. RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee, generating trust.
Kettleers Baseball is brought to you by Mid-Cape Oral Surgeons, the maxillofacial surgery and dental implant center of South Yarmouth. Doctors Thea Herodis, Meyer, and Sarapak are the Cape's leading experts in oral biopsies, wisdom teeth extractions, and dental implant reconstructive surgery.
Beacon Gardens is a proud sponsor of the Kets, Osterville's premier garden center. Located on Osterville, West Barnstable Road, Beacon Gardens prides itself on quality products and excellent customer service. Check out their tremendous assortment of garden products. That's Beacon Gardens, Osterville's premier garden center.
Boston Hand to Shoulder, trusted orthopedic specialist for athletes and everyday people, is your go-to team for Boston's professional athletes and people across New England. So if an injury is slowing you down, Boston Hand to Shoulder is now on Cape Cod. Call 617-965-HAND for all your hand and upper extremity needs. Go Cats!
Need an ice cream fix this summer? Stop by the Four Seas Ice Cream in Centerville, the oldest ice cream shop in Massachusetts. They've been in business 91 years, carrying many of the same unbelievable flavors. Visit Four Seas Ice Cream and taste the difference.
Now batting
Top of the second inning here from Red Wilson Field on the campus of Dennis Yarmouth High School, home of the Dolphins, as we found out today. Plenty of aquatic life surrounding the Cape. I would assume dolphins are one such animal. Due up for Cotuit in this inning, Camden Johnson, Anderson French, and Rentaro Sasaki. The first pitch to Johnson, he takes outside for ball one. Johnson, a left-handed hitter, found his way into the hitting department of things the past game. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball, low in the zone. Had himself 2 hits in the game against Chatham. Also had a sacrifice fly, which brought in a run. The 1-0 pitch, swung and fouled back to the screen. Count will go to 1-2. Large screen protecting a nice press box here at YD. Gray wood siding, gray roof, 2 stories, white trim. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung and cracked down the third base line, tailing foul, and it will land about 4 feet into foul ground.
I like the swing from Johnson, trying to get that one out to the opposite field, just a touch too late on it.
A lot of left-handed hitters in this Cotuit lineup, and a lot of them can pepper the ball opposite field. Avincula, Wiggins, Johnson, some of those names. Johnson has returned to the batter's box. Gives the top of his bat a wipe down, adjusts his helmet, digs his back left foot in. He's ready for the 1-2 pitch from Hunter Watkins. On its way, and that fastball sails way high. Watkins on the mound, 6'9". That baseball had to be traveling about that high to home plate. The catcher, Bold, leaped from his crouch and could not put a glove on it. 2-2, no outs here. Top of the second, the pitch. Johnson didn't go around. Appeal down to third, says the same. Pitch missed low. Count has run to 3-2. Infield shaded to their lefts. Watkins asks the pitch clock to reset itself. Now has his sign. The 3-2 pitch. Swung and fouled back and out of play. Johnson just a bit underneath it. Immediately after he swung, stepped out of the batter's box and thought that was a pitch that he should have had. We'll do it again, full count. Watkins peering over his brown-orange glove. The tall righty kicks and deals. Off-speed pitch, swung on and missed. Pitch was low in the zone. Johnson took a large crack at it, couldn't connect. And up will step Anderson French.
It's a good strikeout pitch from Watkins, like you said. Got him swinging in the dirt. Curveball was almost in the dirt.
French is 6'5", 220. Size-wise, he's the Kettleer to size up the best against the tall Watkins. First pitch showing bunt. French fouled it away. French on the season, 4 for 21, hitting at a 190 average. Does have a double in there. Only 1 RBI. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on another breaking ball, low in the zone. That ball was nearly in the dirt when it got to the glove of the catcher, Bold. French will step out of the box, recollect himself. He's back in there for the 0-2 pitch. High and away. The third baseman, Hagopian for YD, has been creeping in on these left-handed hitters. Cotuit not afraid to show bunt or lay one down the third base line. After a lengthy pause, Watkins has his sign. Now will deliver. Upstairs again with the fastball, 2-2. He's been missing upstairs with the fastball today, but then he'll bounce back with a lower breaking ball that has got these Cotuit hitters swinging. The 2-2. Low breaking ball, French able to just catch a piece of it as it rolls to the backstop. And Rintaro Sasaki will pick up the ball and hand it to a ball kid. He's on deck. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, no score here. Top of the second. The pitch. French takes all the way, just a bit outside. Count has run full. Plenty of fans here at Red Wilson Field, a majority sitting along the third base line that YD claims as their own. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing on and fouled back to the backstop again. Count will stay full. Fans now beginning to fill in the outfield, bringing an assortment of lawn chairs, peering through the fence. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on in a sharp grounder towards the right side. Fielded by the second baseman Miller. Throw to first is in time to retire French.
Couple of good at-bats from the Kettleers, but Watkins just continues to win the battles, getting them to offer its stuff low in the zone.
Watkins, I feel like it's apt to mention, went to Grand Canyon his freshman year. That is the school that I attend, so I got to see him pitch his freshman year, which was primarily in relief work. He's worked more into a starting role as he's gotten older. His first offering to Rintaro Sasaki, a breaking ball that caught the bottom part of the strike zone. Sasaki took. No balls and 1 strike. Sasaki owns the only home run that Cotuit has hit this year, the 0-1. Upstairs, nearly at the logo on Sasaki's batting helmet. Sasaki is 6 foot flat, so that tells you how high the pitch was. Here's the 1-1 with 2 outs. Swung and popped up, not hard hit. It's into shallow right field. The second baseman Miller out there about 15 steps into right field will make the catch. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Hunter Watkins. We'll head to the bottom of the second.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings, they are ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
When we see our patient, our philosophy is to not just take care of the isolated pathology or problem that they're here for. We look at the care of a patient as the whole patient, how they hold hands with a spouse or partner, how they engage with their children or grandchildren. These are important things in the equation of how we decide optimal treatment for patients, whether that's non-operative or operative intervention. Every patient gets treated as a family member or as a pro athlete in our mind. We provide concierge level of care. That's how we want it done for our own, and that's what we continue to do here in the greater Boston area.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Bottom of 2, Cotuit and YD knotted up at 0-0. Both teams still searching for the first run of the game. It will be 5, 6, and 7 up for the Red Sox. Will Gasparino, Will Baker, and Jomar Carreras. The righty Gasparino's up. The first pitch to him. Swung on and popped up foul over the first base dugout. Like the Cotuit Kettleers are standing in. Gasparino, who's up now for YD, 6'6", 225 out of Los Angeles, California. This will be his first appearance for YD. Taken low for ball 1. should say that pitch on many other, perhaps not as tall players would be a strike, but just the tall frame of Gasparino bumps that strike zone up a bit. The 1-1 popped up foul and out of play, 1-2. Deverman surrendered a leadoff single to Braden Dowd and then retired 3 straight Red Sox. The 1-2 pitch bounced in the dirt before home plate. Count will go to 2-2. Gasparino just wrapped up his year at the University of Texas. Teammates with Easton Winfield, the center fielder for Cotuit. Deverman has his sign, the 2-2. In there, called strike 3. A strikeout looking for Kenton Deverman. No offer from Gasparino. Deverman now 7 strikeouts, no walks on the season. Up will step Will Baker. It will be a lefty-lefty matchup. The only other left-handed hitter that Deverman has faced today was the leadoff man Dowd. He surrendered a single. See how this lefty-lefty matchup stacks up. First pitch is a strike right down the pipe. The Red Sox don't hit traditionally well against left-handed pitchers this season. As a team, they're hitting 133 against lefties. The 0-1 low. Count will even at 1-1. That 133 average against left-handed pitchers is 10th in this 10-team league. The lefty Deverman will kick and deal. 1-1 is fanned on and missed. Count will go to 1-2.
Great pitch, dove off the plate. Forced Baker to kneel on the swing. Really went down for it.
Now against right-handed pitchers, YD hitting 276. The 1-2. Cracked on the ground towards short. Farber fields it, didn't need to move. Throw to first is in time.
Now batting for YD.
Deverman will rely on those groundouts and the flyouts. Has been working up those strikeout numbers, but you'll see a lot of 4-3s, 6-3s, 5-3s when Deverman is pitching. He's had a pair of groundouts work today. Jomar Carreras, the 7th hitter in this YD lineup, up to bat. First pitch, the righty takes up and away for ball 1. Carreras hitting 269 on this season. Has 7 hits, 5 RBIs. The 0-1. That's cracked on the ground. A 2-hopper towards the first baseman, French. He'll glove it, take a couple steps towards first base. It's a 3 unassisted. A 1-2-3 inning for Kenton Deverman. This score is still 0-0 as we head to the top of the 3rd here at Red Wilson Field.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Top of the 3rd, 9-1-2 coming up for the Kettleers. Easton Winfield, Jared Vincula, and Andrew Wiggins. 3 players that can certainly put barrel on ball for the Kets. All have shown streaks of hitting. Winfield in his first couple of appearances for Cotuit was nearly unstoppable. Watkins up on the mound, has his sign. The tall righty kicks and deals, swung in and fouled away up and over the third base seating. A couple of bleachers on each side, placed before some tall trees that are providing a little bit of shade. The tips of the trees, the shade is poking over the third base line. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fouled away, same place down the third base line. Count is 0-2 on Winfield. Easton 5 for 22 on the season. Has the lone triple on this Kets roster. The 0-2 pitch. Winfield takes just a bit low. It was nearly at his knees. Count has gone to 1-2. Winfield 6 walks, 9 strikeouts. The 1-2 pitch. Check swing, and he went around.
Now batting for Cotuit.
Third strikeout of the day for Hunter Watkins. He's had one in every inning so far. The lineup card now flipped to Jaron Vincula. Vincula started this game off with a single on the first pitch. Made it all the way to third via a pair of stolen bases. He's up to 8 on the year. The first pitch to him. Vincula takes a breaking ball in there for strike 1.
More of a patient approach this time. Swung at that first pitch when he led off the game.
The 0-1. Cracked on the ground towards the right side, fielded by Miller. He'll run a couple steps towards first, an underhand toss in time to retire Vincula. 4-3 on the putout. Andrew Wiggins will take his crack at Watkins, looking to prevent his streak of now 6 straight Kettleers retired. Wiggins struck out looking in the first inning. Here's the pitch from Watkins. Low, nearly in the dirt when Bold caught it. 1 ball and no strikes. Wiggins has worked 7 walks this year. That's tied for the team high. The pitch. Breaking ball, Wiggins offered, but he didn't swing. Either way, it's a strike. Count has gone to 1-1. The pitch. And there for strike 2. Wiggins hesitated on the swing again. But same spot, just the bottom part of the zone. It's a 1-2 count here with 2 outs, top of the third, no score. Long pause for Watkins. Now he's ready. The kick and the deal. Swing and a miss from Wiggins. On another breaking ball low in the zone, Watkins has been finding his stuff in that part of the strike zone. His 4th strikeout of the day. We'll head to the bottom of the third. No score in this one from Red Wilson Field on the Kettleers Digital Network.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Bottom of 3, YD up to bat. Kenton Deverman has retired 6 straight Red Sox. Still no score in this one. Each team with a hit apiece. No errors for either squad. Deverman with a bit of a torso twist. Now the lefty will kick and deal. First pitch swung on and fouled away for Jake Bold. Jake Bold, the 8-hole hitter for the Red Sox. He'll be followed up by Dean Carpentier, and then the lineup card will flip to Braden Dowd, who has the lone hit for the Red Sox. Deverman delivers. Swung on and ripped foul the opposite way. A high foul ball down the third base line. Count is quickly 0-2 on Jake Bold. Bold, 6 foot flat, 215. Just wrapped up his season at Princeton. He's hitting .375 this year. The 0-2 cracked foul up and away over the press box and into the parking lot. Sunny skies here. Only real clouds look to be remnants of contrails. The 0-2 pitch. Chopper, right side. French gloves. Will take it himself over to first base. He thought about tossing to Deverman, but French realized he's close enough to the bag to take it unattended.
He's had a couple of G3Us. He's looked good over at his position, and it's good to have a guy like that on your roster. Can flip between first base and catcher pretty seamlessly. It's what he did at Virginia Tech. It's what he's doing here.
Well, French does have long strides, being 6'5", can cover a lot of infield over at first base. And up will step Dean Carpentier. First pitch swinging. He fouls one off the screen and into the Cotuit first base dugout. Carpentier, a USC Trojan. The 0-1 pitch to him. Misses just a bit low. Ball 1. He's hitting .167 on the summer. 2 for 12, so limited plate appearances. The 1-1. Swung and chopped foul. Got a good piece of it. Sent it down into the media box on the third base side. Can see the Cotuit Kettleers cameramen Dennis and Jaden enjoying some shade over on that side of the ball field. The 1-2 pitch. Belted high. It's going to be in foul ground on the right field side. Into the foul ground and off the netting goes the baseball. 1-2, the count will remain. Not a whole lot of foul space when you get closer to the fence. A lot of foul ground in the immediate vicinity of the infield. About 15 or so yards of grass between the dirt and the dugouts. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? Appealed down to first. Doesn't matter. It was strike 3 anyways. The second strikeout of the day for Kenton Deverman.
Got him to barely cross the plane on a high fastball. That's one of those swings that you call hesitant. Didn't really want to go around.
Kevin Frady shouting commands from the dugout towards the outfield, telling them to motion to their rights. The lefty, Braden Dowd. He singled in his first plate appearance. That was out to left field. The first pitch to him. He takes in at the hand, strike 1. Dowd now 8 hits on the year. Only one of those an extra base hit. It was a home run. The 0-1 pitch to him. Ripped on a line straight to Vincula. Moved a couple steps to his left and snagged it. Back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings for Kenton Deverman. We'll head to the top of the 4th. Still 0-0 the score in this one.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
The Kettleers, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. Same stat line for the YD Red Sox as we've hit the 4th inning in this Eastern-Western Division matchup between these Cape opponents. YD 7-2-1, Cotuit 2-7-1. But both teams on a pair of streaks. Cotuit has gone 2 games undefeated. YD on a 6-game winning streak. The Kettleers looking to snap that. Hunter Watkins remains on the bump. Glove at his chest, the pitch. Misses low to Ryan Farber. Farber today flew out to left field. Looking to get back into the hitting department for himself. The 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball at the knees, called strike 1. Farber has not gotten a hit in the past 2 games. Looking to snap that streak here today. The 1-1. Farber takes. It was at the shins of Farber. You can easily tell he wears his pants up to his knees. Maroon socks showing. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Farber showing bunt. Chops one. It takes a couple of hops right before home plate. The catcher Bold will grab it and fire to first in time to retire Farber.
Tried to leg one out right in front of the plate, and he's got the speed down the line, but Chris, I don't know about the bunt call with no one on.
Cotuit is no stranger to playing some small ball. Will lay bunts down, will get the leadoff man on, and then utilize those steals. Here's the first pitch to Stevens. He takes a strike, caught the outside part of the zone. He disagrees. He'll step out of the box, shaking his head, regather himself. Here will come the 0-1 pitch to him with 1 out. And at the knees, called strike 2. All Stevens can do is smile after that one. A couple of pitches he did not agree with. Just dotting the edges of the strike zone. Watkins ready, again peering over his glove. The pitch, swing and a miss at a high fastball. 5 strikeouts on the day from Hunter Watkins. He has retired now 9 straight Kettleers.
He's shoving out there. Only the 2 base runners on the hit and hit by pitch. And what, he's retired, I think that's 9 straight batters.
Jack Natilli steps up to the plate. First pitch he watches low and away for ball 1. Natilli, one of the few players that can get a righty-righty matchup against Watkins on this Kettleers roster. The 1-0 pitch to him. He takes it just a bit outside for ball 2. Watkins on the season coming into this one, 9 2/3 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts. Here's the 2-0 pitch with 2 outs. Cracked high in the air, hanging up and tailing foul. And running out of room is Bowed. He'll watch it sail over the netting. High foul ball. The count will now be 2 balls and 1 strike as the Red Sox will trot back to their positions after giving chase. Wind whipping out towards, you can call it left field. If anything, it's pushing directly towards the foul pole. Here's the 2-1. Bouncing ball over the head of Watkins, right towards second. Good glove from Carreras. The throw to first. Almost took Carpentier off the bag, but he stayed on, able to retire Natilli on a 6-3 putout. It is a pitcher's duel here at Red Wilson Field. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Still no score in this one on the Kettleers Digital Network.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
When we see our patient, our philosophy is to not just take care of the isolated pathology or problem that they're here for. We look at the care of a patient as the whole patient, how they hold hands with a spouse or partner, how they engage with their children or grandchildren. These are important things in the equation of how we decide optimal treatment for patients, whether that's non-operative or operative intervention. Every patient gets treated as a family member or as a pro athlete in our mind. We provide concierge level of care. That's how we want it done for our own, and that's what we continue to do here in the greater Boston area.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Heading into the bottom of the fourth here at Red Wilson Field, it's Redshirt Friday, so in between innings, just in our break, got to honor a local member of the community who does great work for veterans here on Cape Cod. The man's name was Michael. Couldn't catch the group that he was with, but able to help veterans out. So much thanks to him and all who have protected and served to keep our country safe. The red shirts that YD wearing today, honoring those who have made the ultimate sacrifice with American flag patch and camo lettering. First pitch is popped up high into right field. Measuring it is Stevens, and he'll come in a couple steps making the catch. Glasses gleaming. He's fighting the sun out there. Cody Miller retired on one pitch. And up will step Chris Hakopian, another right-handed hitter. Deverman has been matching Watkins and just retiring batters straight. The first pitch to Hakopian called strike one. Deverman has retired 10 straight Red Sox. His only blemish, a leadoff single. The 0-1 pitch, low, bit in the dirt. Count will even at 1.
And the efficiency he's been working with is incredible. 34 pitches, 26 strikes, just filling up the zone.
1-1. Ripped on the ground off the pitcher's mound. It'll take a couple skips into center field. Another single. That one is off the bat of Chris Hakopian. Only the second hit issued by Kenton Deverman. And it snaps the streak of Red Sox retired. Garrett Wright will dig in the right-handed batter's box. Wright 0 for 1 today. He flew out to center field. Pickoff attempt over to first. Not even a slide issued by Hakopian. He caught there standing.
And when you're facing Wright, you have to hope for something in the dirt. He almost hit 400. Each season, he played at Bowling Green before going to Tennessee for 2026.
First pitch missed upstairs to Wright. Count is 1 ball and no strikes here with 1 out and 1 on. No score still. The kick and the pitch from Deverman. Popped up foul, barely over the screen, and up near the bleachers behind us and the Cotuit first base dugout. Near the snack stand, which we've heard has donut burgers. We might need to try one. We'll see how this game takes us. 1-1, here's the pitch. Popped up foul to the screen, and will bounce right towards the ball kid for Cotuit.
I think the donut burgers, if the game remains close, I think that might be an off-air snack, at least.
Have to be an off-air snack. This game has been going quick. First pitch was at 5:03 local. It's only 5:50. The lefty Deverman will huck a pickoff attempt. Tag is applied by French, but still no slide. 1-2 is the count. Deverman dealing to Garrett Wright. Lefty-righty matchup. Deverman set at the belt. Now will kick and deal. Swing and a miss at some high cheese. Third strikeout of the evening for Kenton Deverman. With 2 outs, that will bring up Will Gasparino, the tall right-handed hitter. Struck out looking in his first plate appearance. That was back in the bottom of the second. Again, Gasparino, 6'6". Holding his bat up above his back shoulder. First pitch chopped foul, and it looked to be off the hand of Natili. He'll take his mask off and take a deep breath. The home plate umpire, Rick Force, will walk a new baseball out to Deverman. The two guys behind the plate, Natalia the catcher and Rick Force the umpire, a bit of mutual respect back there. You're facing the same heat being thrown at you all game long, so you'll see catchers and umpires give each other breaks after being hit by a ball. No balls and 1 strike, the count to Gasparino. The pitch swung on and hit a mile high. This won't leave the infield. Shortstop Farber in near the pitcher's mound, and he'll make the catch. It wasn't a 1-2-3 inning, but it was close. 1 left on base for YD. We'll head to the 5th inning, 0-0. Still the score in this one on the Kettleers Digital Network.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings.
You can dream it. If you can cruise in it. If you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group. Protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Camden Johnson.
Top of the 5th. It will be 6, 7, and 8 due up for Cotuit. Camden, Johnson, Anderson, French, and Rotaro Sasaki. In fact, that's exactly how they lined up in the top of the 2nd. So Camden Johnson leading off an inning for the 2nd time in as many plate appearances. The first pitch showing bunt. Johnson pulls it back. Gets a strike anyways. Breaking ball that dropped into the zone. The third baseman, Hakopian, playing in and at the grass. Rest of the infield playing deep. Again showing bunt, and this one's laid towards the third base line. Barehanded, and the throw to first is not in time from Hakopian. Johnson reaches with a bunt down the third base line.
It's one way to get your first knock of the day, and I guess I see the game plan. A lot of really quick guys in this Cotuit lineup. Camden Johnson being one of them, and even with Hakopian pinched in at third, like you said, he was able to beat it down the line with maybe a second or two to spare.
Anderson French now up for the Kettleers. Tall left-handed hitter. Watkins with a pause now delivers. A first pitch ball to French. In the last game against Chatham, Cotuit, when getting the leadoff man on, at least the first 3 times, all came around to score. So the Kets successful in that case. The one that was fanned on and missed by French on a fastball down the pipe. Count will even at 1-1. Sizable gap between Hakopian, the third baseman, and the third base line. Pickoff attempt to first. Johnson back with a head first slide. He's safe. Watkins working from the middle of the rubber. The righty set, glove at the chest. 40 showing on his back. Here's the pitch, runner goes. Swung and chopped foul to the backstop. Johnson, who sprinted to second, made it all the way with the head first slide. So he'll have to go back to first base now with a dirtier jersey than he left with. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Runner on first for the Kettleers. The pitch. Swing and a miss from French. It's that breaking ball from Watkins that is just, you could call it an off-speed pitch. It is so much slower than his fastball.
It's that curveball just dips off the table, and it's been really giving some of these Cotuit hitters trouble at the plate.
French gave as much advice as he could to Sasaki as the two crossed paths, while Sasaki was walking up to the plate. The lefty Sasaki now swinging his torpedo bat, bounces it on his back shoulder, and a pickoff attempt over to first, not in time. Sasaki used that torpedo bat when he hit the first home run of the season for the Kettleers against Chatham, a 2-run blast over the right field wall. Watkins brings his brown glove up to his chest, now will deliver. Runner goes, the ball is high, the throw down to second is in time. Johnson went in with a slide, and the throw down to second base was just on a dot.
I was about to say, Chris, that throw from Jake Bold, he put it right on the money, right to where that front foot was sliding from Johnson, and it was a real easy tag over there at second.
1-0 pitch to Sasaki. Chops at foul down the first baseline, past the first base coach. Matt Flaherty for Cotuit. Cotuit fans in the crowd shouting, "Have a hit," in Sasaki's native tongue. The 1-1, upstairs again. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. A massive shift on for Sasaki. The second baseman, Cody Miller, is playing shallow right field. Pretty much no one over on the left side of the infield. The pitch, outside, 3-1. Hakopian, the third baseman, is about 5 or so feet to the left of second base, and has his heels in the outfield grass. 3-1, 2 outs. The pitch from Watkins. Sasaki takes, he works a walk. It was low in the dirt.
Now batting for Cotuit, the center fielder.
Bring up Easton Winfield, who's hitting 9th in this one. Winfield struck out swinging in his first plate appearance. It was Winfield's 10th strikeout of the summer. Does have 6 walks, so he can work a high count. The lefty with a wide stance. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Could not time up that curveball. I mean, it just drops off the table. It's near at the knees when it starts its break, and then it just finishes in the dirt. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. The pitch. Fastball low for ball 1. Shift no longer in play for the YD infield. Carreras playing halfway between second and third, and he's creeping in. The 1-1. Swung and popped up foul over the screen and out of play. So it's not as drastic of a shift as it was for Sasaki, but the infield is still shaded to their lefts for the lefty Winfield. And Vincula on deck here with 2 outs. Still no score in this one. And now the shift is in play. 3 to the left of first base. Here's a chopper right towards the second baseman, Miller. He bobbles it and can't hang on. Runners will reach safely. Sasaki will stay put at second base.
For Cotuit, the second baseman from Georgia Tech.
Sasaki had to keep his head on a swivel to make sure that he didn't need to scamper to third. And up steps Jaron and Vincula now with 2 on, 2 out. Still no score here. Both the Kettleers and the Red Sox with 2 hits apiece. It's charged as an error. First pitch to Vincula. Swung and popped up high towards right field, giving chase his boat. He's down near the line. And he did not hang on. That ball landed in foul territory. So everyone will go back to where they were. Our view is partially obstructed down that first base line, so you go off the crowd reaction and what the first base umpire, Thomas Augusta, says. So a high pop-up foul And the right fielder, Bode, is still plenty away from that line. The 0-1 is swung and fouled back to the screen, 0-2. Advincula, being a left-handed hitter, one would assume, oh, you can play him to pull. But Advincula can really just pepper the ball anywhere. So you have to play him straight up. 2 on, 2 out. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung and ripped foul down the third base line. It was close, but it was slicing away from the line. Count will stay at 0-2. Plenty of fans here. Might be the most attended game we've been to. This one rivals the opening day crowds we saw. Beautiful night for baseball. The 0-2. Vincula able to fight it off. He fouls it away down the first base line.
I read that the attendance here at Red Wilson Field is over 5,500. We won't get the official number on how many are here tonight, but it looks like every seat that's available here is full, so could be at capacity.
It's pretty close. Advincula, deep crouch in the batter's box. Here's the 0-2 pitch to him. Swung on and popped up high and foul just behind the screen, landing near the press box. For Advincula, if you pitch to him, he'll be able to make contact. I mean, he can foul off a pitch pretty much anywhere. Still 0-2 the count on Advincula. Again with the deep crouch. Watkins checks Sasaki at second. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Watkins able to work out of trouble. The Kets will leave 2 men on base. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth. Still no score, and when we return, Connor Shue for play-by-play to take us home.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Bottom of the fifth inning here at Red Wilson Field, home of the YD Red Sox. Kenton Deverman still on the bump for the Kettleers against the middle of this order. Will Baker at the dish, the left-handed batter. For the YD Red Sox, it's scoreless between these two teams. It's been quite the pitcher's duel. Deverman into his kick and fire, a first pitch strike. He's got 3 strikeouts, only allowed 3 base runners in 4 innings complete. Deverman a pair of 1-2-3 innings in the second and third, kicks and deals. Second pitch strike. Quickly an 0-2 count against the left-handed swinging Will Baker. The kick and the pitch. Taking a strong watch of the ball through from Will Baker. That one just dropped off the table. A really nice pitch from Kenton Deverman, the Evansville ace. The 1-2. Here it comes. Swinging a high chopper over the screen in left field, out of play. Baker taps the bat Steps back in. The all-natural colored wood bat slings it over his left shoulder. Deverman engages, steps, kicks, fires. Cracked right into the glove of Jack Natilia. Strikeout off the foul tip. 4th K for Kenton Deverman. Jomar Carreras steps in, the switch-hitting shortstop from Rutgers. Couple of Scarlet Knights kicking around in the Cape League. Here's the first pitch to him. Laced foul over the netting on a line out to right field. It's 0-1. The other Scarlet Knight, Justin Shattuck for Brewster, has closed a couple games for them. Here's the 0-1 offer. Shot high in the air off to the right, over the stands. Far out of play, it's 0-2. Jomar grounded out to first base, an unassisted play made by Anderson French back in the 2nd inning. Deverman gets a pitch he likes, kicks and fires. Cracked into the netting behind him, 0-2 it remains. This is the longest Deverman has gone into a game this summer. Went 3 in his first start on opening day against Orleans, 3 2/3 his second start. Now he's through 4 1/3 complete. Cracked to the same spot in the netting, foul behind the plate. Still 0-2. 50 pitches, 40 strikes thrown by Deverman, the rising junior left-handed arm. He works first base side of the rubber. Comes set at the belt, steps, kicks, fires. That's rocketed out to left field, a base hit. Gets down as Wiggins plays it and tosses it in to second base. That is the 3rd hit off of Deverman today. Back-to-back innings allowing a hit for Deverman. Allowed a leadoff single to Braden Dowd and didn't allow one until the second batter of the 4th inning, Chris Hakopian. And that's his 3rd. All singles, though. Now it's Jake Bold, the catcher, swinging it right-handed. The pitch to him. Hit on the ground, past the pitcher, fielded, flipped to second to get the lead runner out. Bold is safe at first, 2 down.
Kettleers unable to turn 2, but you'll take getting the lead runner there. Farber just doing a soft toss to Vincula.
Here's the 9-hole hitter, Dean Carpentier. One of 2 Trojans in this lineup. He's staying for next year. His counterpart, Braden Dowd, at the top of the lineup in the transfer portal out of USC. Carpentier, the right-handed swinging first baseman. A runner at first, French holding him close. Out of the stretch, that's lifted on a line into right field. Diving, misses Stevens. Runner going to 3rd. On his way to 2nd is Carpentier. Getting the wave around to home is Carreras. And in scoring is actually Jake Bold off of the RBI double.
What happened? The guy drop it? I'm sorry.
Stevens tried to make the diving catch out in right field, and it looked like it popped out of his glove from our angle. Here comes the pitching coach, Tim O'Connor. Couple of hard-batted balls off of some Kenton Deverman pitches is going to cause this mound visit. Can't really see the bullpen, so not sure if this is the end for him.
Can see where the bullpen sits, not where the bullpen throws. All these Kettleers up in the bullpen, looks like they have lawn chairs, and they're just perched up on a little hill up out in right field. They have a good view of this game. I mean, that we've talked about it. Deverman is a contact pitcher. He has had some good strikeouts today, but he'll primarily rely on those ground balls and fly balls. That one, it was just in an awkward place for Stevens, and he was close. But anytime you make a dive, you have to be on the money with your glove to get that baseball, or else it will get past you. You can't really react when you're up in the air.
He made a great effort at it, got the glove on it, but it was a tough place. They deemed it a double for Carpentier. That scored Jake Bold for the first run of this ball game. It's 1-0 YD. First pitch, the leadoff man, Braden Dowd, is a fastball upstairs. He had the first hit of the game, leading off the first, then lined out to the second baseman Advincula in the third. Top of the order for YD, Deverman looking to limit the damage, fires in a fastball just outside. It's 2-0. Runner on second is Carpentier after his one-run double. Dowd coming off an 0-4 outing, an 0-for-4 outing against Harwich on the 25th. That pitch is just inside. 3-0. Deverman, the first time he's been this far down in a count all day. Wants to dial it in on 3-0. Out of the stretch, he deals. Low on the corner, a strike. A runner on second behind him. He has a 3-1 count with 2 down against Braden Dowd. 1 runner on. It's the bottom of the 5th. The pitch. It's low. Ball 4, first walk issued of the season in over 10 innings by Kenton Deverman.
Now batting for
He always dots around the zone, is no stranger to throwing just straight strikes. So that walk, a bit unorthodox, but it comes after a double. This is really a time where Deverman can buckle down and not let what happened last at bat affect you in this at bat.
Cody Miller, the second baseman out of Eastern Tennessee State, will bat with 2 runners on and 2 outs. Dowd on first, Carpentier on second. Deverman checks second, fires in a first pitch fastball. One-0 game in the bottom of the 5th. YD up on Cotuit. The Kettleers looking for win number 3 this season. YD number 8. They're atop the West Division. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's lifted softly but deep into center field. Under it is Winfield to make the catch just in front of the 8-foot-high wall to retire the side, but YD scores the first run of this ball game. Will give way in the top of the 6th to Andrew Wiggins, Ryan Farber, and Nolan Stevens batting 2 through 4 for the Kettleers. Up next on Cape League TV.
Hey, it's Chris, and when I'm looking for a cold treat, I go to 4 Seas Ice Cream in Centerville, the oldest ice cream shop in Massachusetts. They've been in business 91 years, carrying many of the same unbelievable flavors. Visit 4 Seas Ice Cream and taste the difference.
Hi, I'm Connor Shue. Kettleers Baseball is brought to you by longtime Cotuit residents Pat and John Callahan of Kinlan Grover Compass. With over 4 decades of experience in commercial lending and real estate, Pat and John are the go-to choice for all things real estate in Cotuit and surrounding towns. Visit them at 681 Falmouth Road in Mashpee. That's the Callahans from Kinlan Grover Compass, proud sponsors and longtime fans of the Kettleers.
The Kettleer Interns and the very popular t-shirt toss are brought to you by Paul J. Casalt & Sons, certified roofing experts proudly serving Cape Cod and Plymouth since 1927. If you've got roofing, siding, or gutter needs, let the Casalt family take care of your family.
The Kettleers Call to the Bullpen is brought to you by longtime Cotuit residents Pat and John Callahan of Kinlan Grover Compass. With over 4 decades of experience in commercial lending and real estate, Pat and John are the go-to choice for all things in real estate in Cotuit and surrounding towns. Visit them at 618 Falmouth Road in Mashpee. That's the Callahans from Kinlan Grover Compass, proud sponsors and longtime fans of the Kettleers.
So that's the end of the line for the starting pitcher for YD, Hunter Watkins. He went 5 innings, pitched 2 hits, 1 walk allowed, and 7 strikeouts. A fine outing, a quality start. For him, he gives way to Tyler Pitzer in the top of the 6th, pitching against the Cotuit Kettleers. He's transferring to Mississippi State out of South Carolina, and he'll face off against the left-handed swinging Andrew Wiggins, a fellow transfer portal member. Pitzer working first base side of the rubber makes a step and a whip-like motion into his delivery for a first pitch strike. Right-handed arm. 1.69 ERA over the summer so far. Pitzer takes a deep breath, set at the belt, brings up to his chest and fires. Big swing and a miss from Wiggins. Pitzer, 2 appearances, 5 1/3 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts to only 2 walks, a whip under 1. He's got a 0-2 count against the opposite-handed Wiggins. That pitch has hit a bouncer low on the ground towards second base, handled by Miller, thrown to first in time for out number 1.
Now batting for Cotuit, the shortstop from Auburn, number 33, Ryan Farber.
Now it's Ryan Farber looking for his first hit of the evening for the Kettleers. Went 0 for 6 yesterday in a short cold streak. He's hitting with 1 down and no one on here in the top of the 6th. Kettleers down 0-1 against the YD Red Sox. Farber batting at left-handed switch hitter, hits it right off the pitcher, and that's a base knock. Hit it hard on the line, and it caromed off the top of the glove of Tyler Pitzer between the 2 middle infielders and into the outfield for a single.
Well, how about that to break your hitless streak? You hit one right back to the pitcher. I mean, that bounced off. It looked like his glove hand just ricocheted off of Pitzer and into center field, so Farber is aboard.
It's a line drive if I've ever seen one. Now it's Nolan Stevens. 3 hits last game. Quick pickoff move to first, not in time. Farber didn't have too much of a lead. He's got a couple of stolen bags this summer. Running with 1 out. Stevens at the dish. Transferring into Oklahoma from Mississippi State. Pitzer kicks and pitches. Low, ball 1. Pitzer with a very abbreviated motion. A short kick, and he kind of crunches his left knee up to his arms and just unleashes with a whip-like motion with that right arm, cutting it around for a pitch. That one delivered outside, 2-0. Stevens a wide stance in the box with a slight crouch. The breath in the throw to first, not in time. The second pickoff attempt unsuccessful. Well, our plan for the donut burgers has been slighted.
They're all out.
They're in high demand. Here's the 2-0 pitch inside. The catcher, Bold, had to dive to his right to stop it. Shadows descending on the infield towards the left side. Still fairly sunny towards first base side and the majority of the outfield. No lights here at Red Wilson Field, so this game will have to finish before dark. The 3-0 pitch. Up and away, 4-pitch walk to Nolan Stevens. He reaches for the second time today.
The catcher from the University of Cincinnati, number 29, Jack.
So 2 1-out base runners for the Kettleers. For Jack Natilli, back in the lineup after missing a couple of games. He got hit on the wrist during their contest against Bourne. Looks healthy as ever out there right now. Time is called. They want a little talk at the mound. In comes the third baseman, Chris Akopian, the catcher, Jake Bold, and their pitching coach. .1-0 ball game. YD leads here in the top of the 6th. 2 base runners with 1 down. Stevens on first, Farber on second for the Kettleers. Mound meeting ends. Natilli still out of the box on the left side. Pitzer hasn't thrown his first pitch to him yet, but he's in trouble in his first inning of work. Couple of base runners allowed. He got the leadoff runner out. Andrew Wiggins grounded out to second. Pitzer stares down second, looks home, fires. That's chopped in the ground. Hit it off the bat twice. It's 0-1. Natilio 0 for 2 in his last game. He's 0 for 2 today. Again, hasn't played since the 22nd against Bourne. He's got an 0-1 count. Uneven setup in the right-handed batter's box. Pitcher's going to step off. So a reset on the hill for Pitzer playing his baseball at Mississippi State next year. Pitzer stares down second. Comes back home with it. That's fired high in the air, a foul ball. It's out of play. Oh, 0-2 count to Jack Natili. Hit over 330 at school this year. Played at Cincinnati, a team that made the regionals. The class of the Big 12. Pitzer fires back to first and caught Stevens off the base, and the tag knocked him over. Carpentier got him for out number 2.
Don't think you can ever really use the term broke their ankles in baseball, but that is what happened. Carpentier, as he was about to apply the tag, just caught Stevens stumbling back in no man's land.
A little too far off the bag on the lead. Now it's 2 down with a runner on second in an 0-2 count. So Pitzer, all of a sudden, back into a much more comfortable situation. Looks home. Here's the 0-2. Cracked on the ground right behind home plate. Foul. Natili fighting to keep this count alive. This game has slowed down considerably after the first 5 innings as Pitzer fires a fastball way high, and easily advancing to third is Farber. That one was maybe a foot above the head of the catcher, Jake Bold. Needless to say, that was a ball. It's 1-2. But again, only 3 base runners for each team through 5 runs scored for the Red Sox in the bottom of the 5th, and all of a sudden, this game has come to a halt. Here's the 1-2 pitch, up and out. Pitzer's struggling with the command. He's got a 2-2 count.
Pitzer 2 walks on this season, 9 strikeouts. Well, we'll call it 3 now with today's game. So has exhibited great command throughout his summer.
Has to rein it in with a 2-2 count. 2 down, a runner on third, Ryan Farber. Here it comes. Shot high in the air, foul. Playable for the catcher. He gives way for the third baseman, Chris Hakopian, who dropped it, and the run scores. And now Jack Natili's at second. Chris Hakopian chugged under it just inside the third base line, tight to home plate, and could not handle it. Chaos on the infield scores a run for the Kets.
Yeah, that ball was shot straight up. In fact, it landed in the dirt in front of home plate. Bold had a read on it, but Hakopian was just barreling down from third base, calling for it. So you have to give way when Hakopian's calling him off, and just overran it. It looked threw his glove up, and it didn't land in the pocket.
Talk about an unfortunate run tag to your stat line if you're Tyler Pitzer. That one was shot straight up in the air. Here's the pitch to Camden Johnson, lowest strike. 0-1. So officially an E5, and of course it was 2 outs, so Natili's just chugging through that one. He ended up at second. Here's the fire home. Big swing and a miss on a pitch outside. It's 0-2. Johnson, a bunt single in the 5th. His lone hit of the day. Had 2 hits last game. The Tilly dancing far off second. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on one in the dirt. Gonna have to throw down to first in time to officially retire Johnson. A strikeout gets Tyler Pitzer out of trouble, but a run scores. It's all knotted up at 1 apiece between Cotuit and YD entering the bottom of the 6th. But real quick, we will go to break. How about that?
Join us every Friday for
The Kettleers interns and the very popular t-shirt toss is brought to you by Paul J. Casalt & Sons, certified roofing experts, proudly serving Cape Cod and Plymouth since 1927. If you've got roofing, siding, or gutter needs, let the Casalt family take care of your family.
Hi, Connor Shue here. Beacon Gardens is Osterville's premier garden center. Located on Osterville and West Barnstable Road, Beacon Gardens prides itself on quality products and excellent customer service. Check out their tremendous assortment of garden products. That's Beacon Gardens, Osterville's premier garden center.
You'll be ready to power up when the power goes out with generator maintenance and service from RCA Electric in Mashpee. From preventative maintenance plans to 24/7 emergency service, trust RCA to keep your generator humming. Call us or visit rcaelectric.com. RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee. Generating trust.
New pitcher for Cotuit, it's Mason Davenport. He's thrown 3 scoreless innings on the summer. He'll come in and try to keep this one a 1-1 ball game, spelling Kenton Deverman, who had a fine outing. 5 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, 5 base runners allowed for the left-handed hurler out of Evansville. His best start of the summer.
And he looked to be in command for a lot of it. I mean, the only real inning of anything of a blemish was in the 5th, and it happened via a fielder's choice and then a diving attempt out in right field by Stevens that just got underneath him. So some of that, I mean, Deverman can only look back on and take a sigh and be like, what could have been? But overall, a good outing for Deverman.
Davenport will face Chris Hakopian to start things off, the right-handed swinging third baseman. He misplayed a ball high in the air that stayed near home plate that helped the Kettleers score their first run of the game in the top of the 6th. First pitch to him is just a bit low and inside from the 6'10" right-handed hurler. Now going to Campbell by way of Stetson. He'll be a fighting Camel.
Go Camels.
Pitch in there on the corner, a strike. It's a 1-1 count. Here it comes. Swing and a tap into the glove. 1-2. Hakopian swung right through it. Hakopian, the ex-Terp, transferring to Texas A&M, watches that one, a ball in the dirt, 2-2. Hakopian 1 for 2 today. Had a single back in the 4th. Infield playing even, 2-2. Shot high in the air over our heads, deep into foul territory. Remains 2-2. Hakopian hit over 370 with Maryland this past year. Kicking after his brother Eddie, who also played there. 2-2 pitch, just outside, 3-2. No one on, no one out. Here's the pitch. Low, a full count walk for Chris Hakopian. Second time he's reached base today.
Now, YD has had a lot more success this season against right-handed pitchers like Davenport is. We talked about how they're last in average against left-handed pitchers. Against right-handed pitchers, they're hitting .276 as a team. That's the best in the league.
They got 4 hits off the lefty Deverman. Now a leadoff walk against the righty Davenport, who checks first. Garrett Wright is up to bat. Pitch low and away. Naturally a catcher, playing left field today. Spent his first 2 years at Bowling Green State University in Ohio, about a couple hours north of Columbus. 1-0 count. That's ripped foul right behind him into the screen. 1-1 count. Wright, the 5'11" catcher. He's on his way to Tennessee next year. Big step up for one of the best players in the MEC. He almost hit 400 in each of his freshman and sophomore campaigns, as there's a hurl to first. Just a check of Hakopian. Davenport, staring down his batter, fires. Fouled back, 1-2.
Ball kid carrying a hot dog out to retrieve that foul ball. That's so cool. That's baseball.
The 1-2. Low pops out of the glove of Natalia. I think I need to check your sandwich ball knowledge. That looks a little bit more like a ham sandwich than a hot dog.
Well, it's a longer bun. Maybe I incorrectly assumed it was a hot dog.
It's a 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Just inside, 3-2. Another full count for Davenport to Wright. Chris is investigating with the binoculars to check the sandwich. Here's the 3-2. Runner goes. It's low. No need to throw down. Wright reaches on a walk.
I think you're right. Looks to be a ham and cheese.
The center fielder, number 44, Will Gasparino.
Told you. Will Gasparino steps in with a couple runners on and no outs. Mason Davenport scuffling early in his outing. He's thrown 13 pitches, 5 of them strikes. Next challenge is Gasparino. Will Gasparino so far today a strikeout looking and a pop-up to the shortstop. A stare to second, a second check of second. Pitch is low. Runner goes, and he's well into third. Hakopian, no throw down. So now it's runners on the corners with no outs. Not an ideal situation here for Davenport.
YD jumping on him early, and if anything, it's just been patient hitting. They're working the count up. Deverman primarily throwing strikes. Davenport likes to dot the zone a little bit more.
The 6'10 Davenport dealing to the 6'6 Will Gasparino, who rockets one over the screen and into the parking lot. 1-1 count. Gasparino, an .851 on base plus slugging at Texas, played in 58 games. Extra base hit machine, 13 homers, 14 doubles. Socks that high in the air. Left side of the infield, tailing into foul ground. Is that over the netting? It is. Unplayable. So Gasparino, this is his first game of the summer on Cape. In 2024, he was on Cape just with Chatham. Moving divisions.
He's same division.
Oof.
It's all good.
Good call. Yikes. Excuse me.
That's why we're a team.
We're trying to create storylines here. The 1-2. Hit high in the air, just past the infield. Farber coming way out of his position to play it. Makes the grab, no tag from third. So an out number one is crucial. Now a double play ball could end it.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Connor. With a runner on first and second open, that does open up the double play ball. So all Davenport really needs right now is just one pitch, a grounder in the infield, and he can escape this inning unscathed after allowing the first two batters to reach base.
He's got Will Baker now, left-handed swinging bat. Struck out last time up, but Here's the pitch. Showed bunt, it was low, but back to Gasparino. I think he might have made the right decision. Chatham at the bottom of the East Division, YD at the top right now.
That's a good storyline. From worst to first.
Chatham was a little better than that last year.
That is true.
Still very early, only 10 games through. A runner goes to second. That's socked on a line out to right center field, or right field. Stevens catches it, fires home, but that run is going to be in well in time. Hakopian scores on the sacrifice fly off the bat of Will Baker to right. 2-1 ball game. YD's up.
I mean, might have to call that a sacrifice line out. That ball was hit on a rope out to right field. Stevens actually had to track back a couple of steps because that ball kept carrying. I mean, it had a lot of pop off the bat, and that's all you have to do when you have a runner at third with one out. Just put it deep enough for the throw not to come home.
Now it's Jomar Carreras, switch hitter batting left-handed, swings and misses at a high fastball. Tried to even up his swing path with that baseball, but couldn't quite bring it up enough. He's got a shorter strike zone, under 6 foot. 0-1 pitch forces Carreras to kick his back leg backwards to avoid the baseball. It's 1-1. So there's a runner on first. It's Garrett Wright for Jomar Carreras. The 1-1 pitch hit tailing towards left field out of play into some green grass past the field. A 1-2 count. Davenport, tall on the hill. Kicks and pitches. It's just outside. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first is Wright. French keeping him close. Here comes the 2-2. Socked out to left field, tailing over the netting, out of play. A slight wind out to left field, the American flag billowing. Trees lining the outfield. Almost up to the big green scoreboard out and left. The pitch hit hard on the ground towards second. Advincula barehands it, makes the throw back to first in time after bobbling it momentarily. Davenport gets out of the inning with only 1 run allowed. 2-1 Red Sox. And before we go to break, we'll kick it to our sideline reporter, Brooke Kilgore.
Guys, the wait is over for Cal's dynamic infield duo. Just yesterday, PJ Moutsouridis and Jaron Advincula announced their next chapters on Instagram. Moutsouridis is headed to Arizona State, where he'll reunite with fellow Kettleers Cole Carlone and Wyatt Halverson. Former Cal shortstop batted .270 and posted a .944 fielding percentage this spring. And just earlier this week, notched 2 hits and 2 runs to help Cotuit secure its 2nd win. As for Advincula, he's headed south and surprising many with a commitment to Georgia Tech. The rising junior sat as one of the top second basemen in the country last season, hitting .342 with 6 home runs and 33 RBI. He chose the Yellow Jackets over offers from Tennessee and Florida State. Together, the two started 109 of 110 games at Cal. While Moutsouridis is headed home for the season, they had a chance to spend one final summer together side by side on the Cape. Connor and Chris, back to you.
Thank you, Brooke. We'll go to a short break here before proceeding to the top of the 7th here on Cape League TV.
Be safe and comfortable in your home in any season with a Generatic automatic standby generator from RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee. RCA does it all, from consultation to installation to maintenance. For more information, visit rcaelectric.com. RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee, generating trust.
Hi, Connor Shue here. Wake up to Cape Cod's finest coffee. Cape Cod coffee roasts fresh daily, using only the finest beans. With a wide variety of options from light to dark, flavored to decaf, there's something for everyone. Visit locally in Mashpee Commons and off Route 130 in Mashpee, or venture over the bridge to Wareham Crossing, where each location offers a
Top of the 7th, it's Anderson French playing first base, batting left-handed to start off the top half of the 7th frame. 2-1 ball game, the Red Sox up. Some fans having fun behind us. Tyler Pitzer still out there after his first frame of relief. Gets a big whiff from French on a low breaking pitch.
I believe that fan was imitating a Hokie bird, where French goes to college, Virginia Tech.
Nice call out. Ripped that one to right field, a base hit in right center for Anderson French, his first hit of the evening.
Now batting for...
And French has just been making some really solid contact since coming back into this Cotuit lineup. He took a couple games off, but then in his return, he's really been able to put bat to ball.
He's looked really good. 3 straight games with a hit for French. Now it's Rentaro Sasaki, a pop-up and a walk for him today. Pitzer's first offer. Gets a check swing. They say he went around 0-1. Sasaki hit the first homer of the Kettleers season last game. That was in their tie against Chatham. The 0-1 slung home just outside a fastball, 1-1. Sasaki in the left-handed batter's box. Easton Winfield on deck. Jaron Advincula in the hole. Sasaki a wide base towards the back of the left-handed batter's box. He's ready. Here comes the pitch from Pitzer. Lifted high, softly fell behind the screen and behind home plate. It's 1-2. No one out, a runner on first is French. Got aboard with a leadoff single here in the top of the 7th. 2-1 ball game. The Red Sox lead the Kettleers. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Went fishing for it. Nice breaking ball from Pitzer. His second strikeout of the game.
21, Easton Winfield.
Now it's Easton Winfield. He reached on an error by the second baseman last time, struck out his first time up. Winfield getting some signs from Lauren Hibbs at the dugout. He's ready in the left-handed batter's box. Squared to bunt at that first pitch, a high fastball. French got a lead off first. He came back. Now Hibbs going to do some further communication with his center fielder out of the batter's box. A quick teaching moment between the ex-Charlotte skipper and the now Texas center fielder, Easton Winfield. A crucial moment in this ball game. Top of the 7th. A man on first. 1 down. Kettleers down 1. Just need that third win. They won their first game in walk-off fashion, their second of the year, against Wareham back home on the first Sunday of the season. They won 6-2 in Brewster. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the upper left corner. It's 1-1. A ball, a strike, and an out. A runner on first. Pitzer deals home, upstairs. French threatened to go, and Bolt got out of his stance quickly, ready to gun to second if necessary. The second baseman, Miller, playing awfully close to the outfield, just a step in from the grass. Here's the pitch, 2-1. Big rip and a miss from Winfield. It's 2-2. Now a hard shift by the infield. The third baseman, Chris Hakopian, playing where the shortstop would, and the shortstop, Carreras, playing where the second baseman would. Miller remains in his spot. That's tapped high on the ground, foul down the first base line. Just skipped right of the line. French was all the way at second. So it stays 2-2. One-run ball game here in the top of the 7th. The throw home, upstairs, 3-2. Might as well check out on the rest of the Cape League action. Wareham up on Brewster, 2-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Falmouth up on Harwich in the top of the 3rd. Chatham up 4-0 on Bourne in the middle of the 2nd inning. Here's the 3-2 offer, barely fouled off. Had to golf it out of there towards the backstop. It remains 3-2. And lastly, Hyannis is in front of Orleans in the top of the 2nd. A lot of close baseball on Cape tonight. This game, certainly a part of that equation. The 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss on a fastball at his eyes. 2 down.
Batting for Cotuit, the second baseman from Georgia Tech, number 7, Jared Advincula.
Jaron Advincula, the second baseman, recent commit to Georgia Tech, as we heard from our sideline reporter, Brooke Kilgore. 2 down with a runner on first, Anderson French. Advincula looking for his second knock of the day. He led the game off with a single. Stole both second and third, did not score though. Socks that first pitch high in the air, foul into the trees beyond the left field line. It's 0-1 to Advincula, the former Cape League batting champion. Hit .392 last summer. Pitzer, an 0-1 count with 2 down. The pitch, taken on the corner. Quickly 0-2 to Jaron Advincula. Two-1 ball game. YD in their home park up on Cotuit. Top of the 7th, 0-2 count, 2 outs. Pitzer shakes off a couple. Gets a pitch from his catcher he likes. The short kick, the pump, the delivery, fouled off straight to the backstop. Remains 0-2. Advincula, a fighter at the plate. Trying to stay alive and get a knock to move French over. Four hits for each team. Here's the pitch. Swung on and rocked foul off to the right side. Stays 0-2. The fourth 0-2 offer coming up next from the arm of Tyler Pitzer, who's working through his second full inning of relief work. Came in for Hunter Watkins, who threw 5 scoreless. Pitzer out of Mississippi State. High on the slab, kicks and pitches. A high fastball stood up his catcher, Bold. First ball of the count, 1-2. Shadows growing on the infield. Almost stretched out to the first base side now. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Slow tapper towards the pitcher's mound, gloved by Pitzer and flipped underhand to first in time. Side retired despite the leadoff hit by Anderson French. 2-1 is your score. We're going to the bottom of the second here on Cape League TV, YouTube, or Twitter, wherever you're viewing this one.
Wake up to Cape Cod's finest coffee. Cape Cod coffee roasts fresh daily using only the finest beans. With a wide variety of options from light to dark, flavored to decaf, there's something for everyone. Visit locally in Mashpee Commons and off Route 130 in Mashpee, or venture over the bridge to Wareham Crossing, where each location offers a full bar and menu. Proudly sponsoring the Cotuit Kettleers, Cape Cod Coffee is passionate about our brews and our community.
Beacon Gardens is Osterville's premier garden center. You'll find everything you need to beautify your home at Beacon Gardens, where quality products and excellent customer service make them Osterville's premier garden center. Visit Beacon Gardens on Osterville, West Barnstable Road.
Boston Hand to Shoulder, trusted orthopedic specialist for athletes and everyday people, brings you to the Kettleers top of the order. They're the go-to team for Boston's professional athletes and people across New England. So if an injury is slowing you down, Boston Hand to Shoulder is now on Cape Cod. Call 617-965-HAND for all your hand and upper extremity needs.
New pitcher out there for the Kettleers, Zane Coppersmith, the right-hander out of Stetson. Comes in relief of Mason Davenport, who struggled through his lone inning. Allowed a run and walked 2. The starter, Kenton Deverman, had a real nice outing for the Kettleers. 5 innings, 4 hits, a walk, 1 run, 4 strikeouts for the Evansville left-hander. Now it's Zane Coppersmith coming in to try to keep it a 2-1 game. The Red Sox have the advantage. They scored in the bottom of the 5th and 6th. Cotuit tied it in the top of the 6th off an error of the third baseman, Chris Hakopian. A high shot on the infield just bounced right out of his glove.
Hitting for YD from the University of Connecticut, number 28, AJ Soldra.
AJ Soldra, transfer to UConn, is stepping in, the pinch hitter for Jake Bold. He's swinging the hottest bat of the summer for YD, hitting well over 300.
Hitting .391, which leads the team. 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. Surprise, those stats also lead the team.
High fastball was taken for ball 1. 1-0 count to Soldra. Don't want to miss anything in the zone to him. Coppersmith fires, big cut and a miss. Coppersmith this summer, .450 ERA and 6 innings pitched, has made 3 appearances, 7 strikeouts, pair of walks, and 4 hits. 1-1 count to the left-handed swinging Soldra. Takes that for a strike, 1-2. Coppersmith wants to keep Cotuit in this one. Their hitting performance today, not quite as great as their recent ones. That's socked into right field, just past the glove of Jaron Advincula, made a dive for it. It's a base hit.
Now batting for YD from USC, the first baseman, number 18, Dean Carpentier.
Dean Carpentier into the game, batting 9th, hitting right-handed. He drove in the first run of the ball game on an RBI double in the 5th. Nolan Stevens made a nice diving effort at it, but couldn't quite get there in time to make the catch. So that one skipped off his glove and towards the wall. And that's how Carpentier drove in that run. First pitch, bunted straight up in the air. Natili back on it, and it just bounces off of his wrist. Nearly made a highlight play behind home, but it's just an 0-1 count.
Well, Natili had to drop that mask instantly, and when he looked up, the pop-up wasn't high enough for him to get a good grasp. He was more so just reacting, and the ball pretty much came down right in his lap as he was falling to his, or sliding to his backside, and then it just landed up by the wrist where it met the glove and couldn't get a good handle on it.
Made a great effort at it. It's an 0-1 count to Carpentier out of USC. Here's the 0-1. Shoots it high in the air, hanging over foul territory, coming in to try and make the play, and it bounces harmlessly just in front of Jaron Advincula, who sprinted as hard as he could for that baseball.
Advincula had to cover a lot of ground to make that. I mean, he started in a typical second base position, and he had to end up about 10 yards outside of the infield in foul territory.
Again, a great attempt by the All-American caliber second baseman. So it remains an 0-2 count to Carpentier. The first baseman waggles the bat over his right shoulder as there's a throwback to first, not in time. Carpentier hitting a .167 this summer coming into the game. Has 2 doubles. Another throwback. No one down here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Coppersmith fires. Upstairs, popped out of Natili's glove and rolled down the first base line just off of the home plate circle. Got there in time, so there was no advancement from the runner. It's 1-2. Coppersmith pitched in the season opener. Him and Deverman, so a similar arsenal of pitchers today for Lauren Hibbs. He fires that shot on the ground past shortstop. Farber tried to get down to the ground to make it. Now Wiggins loses it in left field and fires it into second. Not in time to get the runner. So Carpentier thieves second base. And on third is Soldra after a couple of defensive miscues from the Cats.
Farber, the shortstop, was shaded more up the middle, so he had to range over to his right to get that baseball and just couldn't get a good jump on it. So it got past him, and when it got to Wiggins, Wiggins had his eyes up, more so looking at where the runners would be instead of on the ball, and just popped out of his glove. So he had to regather that baseball, and by the time he figured out where to throw, both runners had reached safely.
Now Coppersmith's in a whole lot of trouble. 2 runners on, each of them in scoring position. And the bat is in the hands of the leadoff man, Braden Dowd. A walk and a single for him today. The left-handed hitter takes it high, a fastball. 1-0 count. The runner on third is Soldra. The runner on second, Carpentier. Pair of singles to start off the inning for YD. Here's the pitch. Cracked on the ground towards the pitcher's mound. Coppersmith checks home and tosses it to first in time. Great job to hold the runner off while getting the out.
Or as soon as he got that baseball, the first look that Coppersmith made was towards third base to make sure that Soldier was staying put, and then just went with the easy underhand toss for the out to first.
Heads up fielding by the pitcher Coppersmith. In steps Cody Miller. He's 0 for his last 6 dating back to last game. 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts. Today he's got a pair of flyouts and a sac bunt. Steps in the right-handed batter's box. First pitch to him. Hit a tapper on the ground past third base. Runner gets in, another single. Chugging around third is Carpentier, and he's in as well. A 2-run single off the bat of Cody Miller. Just a tapper through the left side, and he's on second, advancing on the throw.
Yeah, it's been the past couple of innings that YD's really been taking advantage of. It hasn't necessarily been all that bad a defense from Cotuit. It's more so just not being at the right place at the right time, and that will eat up on you. And now the Cats down by 3.
So, a mound meeting, and I think that's Lauren Hibbs out there to make the visit. He's still in the dugout. I think
Tim O'Connor.
I think I need my eyes checked. Looked like there was some gray hairs popping out of the back of that cap, but I don't think so.
Oh, I would stop digging, man. I don't think Tim O'Connor has gray hairs.
That's the thing. Well, my mistake. These shadows are playing tricks on the infield. Mound meeting is concluded.
Good save.
We're going to pocket that one. So here's your situation. Runner on second. 2 runs have just scored. It's now a 4-1 ball game. Red Sox are up. And in comes the 3-hole hitter, Chris Hakopian, one of the toughest outs on this roster. Zane Coppersmith, your pitcher for the Kettleers, has to deal with Miller, who's dancing around second, fires a first pitch ball up and in. 1-0 count with 1 down. No opportunity for a double play ball. He's going to have to get these 2 outs the hard way. Hakopian has a hit today. A single back in the 4th, and he smacks it foul into the screen, just off the top of his bat. A ball and a strike, 1 down, a runner on second. Here in the bottom of the 7th. YD has extended their lead to 3. They are up 4-1. Coppersmith offers home. Swing and a miss on the breaking stuff low. A ball and 2 strikes. Coppersmith trying to work out of trouble. Has allowed 2 runs this inning. The 3rd straight inning that the Red Sox have scored. And here's the 1-2, just a touch low. Same pitch, no offer by Hakopian. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. A runner on second is Cody Miller, the second baseman. The third baseman, Hakopian, at the dish. Squatted in the right-handed batter's box, slaps that one fair towards third. Firing over to first in time was Johnson for the out. 2 down.
Johnson looks to be shaken up over in foul ground by third base. That ball was hit. It was a 1-hopper to Johnson and took a ricochet off his body before he was able to glove it. I mean, it was coming in hot. So the fact he was able to, A, hold on to that baseball, and B, able to figure out where he was, orient himself to throw to first base, that was all too impressive from the third baseman.
He's down to a knee just outside of the third base line, steps up, and he is gingerly walking back to his position after the Kettleers trainers came out, as did Lauren Hibbs. They all returned to the dugout. Scary for a second, but looks like all is well over there at the hot corner. Hopefully. So Hakopian grounded out. Runner remains at second. That's Miller. Due up. Garrett Wright batting cleanup with 2 down. Wright is ready. Coppersmith back on the slab, first base side. Staring down second, he fires home. Lifted into the screen directly behind Wright. A lot of fouls back. 0-2 is your count. 2 down here in the bottom half of the 7th. Righty-righty matchup. Coppersmith kicks and deals home. That's a strike on the inner part. Beautiful spot by Coppersmith. No offer from Wright. The talented contact bat going from Ohio to Tennessee. 0-2 count. Here's the pitch, and that hits right off the front shoulder of Wright. He will take first.
You work yourself into an 0-2 count. That's where you want to be. Not the pitch to throw at that count. I mean, you never want to hit a guy, but that one just stings a little more, knowing that you were dealing, the cards were in your favor.
Wanted that fastball in, but it just got away from him and found the left shoulder of Garrett Wright. Will Gasparino socks one on the ground past the glove of the third baseman Johnson. Chugging around third to home is Miller. That's another run scored in this inning, and all of a sudden, it's a 5-1 ball game. YD mounting a lead that feels tough to beat.
I mean, the bats have come alive for the Red Sox. Coming into this one, they were the hottest hitting team in the league. They led the Cape in batting average and slugging percentage and hits. So you wonder just how long the Kets could hold back the bats. And Deverman did a good job of it. But, I mean, for just pure analysis standpoint, it's been the right-handed hurlers from Cotuit that have really tacked on, you know, the damage, or should I say the damage has been tacked onto them.
4 hits allowed by Zane Coppersmith. 3 runs, and he's out of the game with 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. It's 5-1. New pitcher. We'll give you the ID in a second here on Cape League TV after a quick break.
The Kettleers Call to the Bullpen is brought to you by Beacon Gardens, Osterville's premier garden center. Located on Osterville West Barnstable Road, Beacon Gardens prides itself on quality products and excellent customer service. Check out their tremendous assortment of garden products. That's Beacon Gardens, Osterville's premier garden center.
Hey, it's Chris here. From bean to bite, sip, savor, and share a moment at Cape Cod Coffee. Their 2 Mashpee locations include the perfect brunch spot in Mashpee Commons and a lunch and dinner restaurant with a full bar right off Route 130. Cape Cod Coffee has also opened a new location in Wareham Crossing, where you can indulge in delicious breakfast, lunch, and dinner options. Visiting any of these locations will leave you absolutely thrilled. Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Make sure to stop by Mid-Cape Oral Surgeons, the maxillofacial surgery and dental implant center of South Yarmouth. Doctors Theo Hardees, Meyer, and Sarah Pack are the Cape's leading experts on oral biopsies, wisdom teeth extractions, and dental implant reconstructive surgery.
Kettleers Baseball is brought to you by Boston Hand to Shoulder, trusted orthopedic specialists for athletes and everyday people. Their expert team treats everything from sports injuries to everyday wear and tear, helping patients of all ages get back to what they love. Boston Hand to Shoulder is now on the Cape. Call 617-965-HAND for all of your hand and upper extremity needs.
The Kettleers Call to the Bullpen is brought to you by Beacon Gardens, Osterville's premier garden center.
Will Baker.
Max Hogg enters in mop-up duty in the bottom of the 7th inning with the Kettleers down 5-1. 2 down at this point. He's going to pitch to Will Baker. Coppersmith got tagged for 3 runs. He's got 2 inherited on the bases. Hogg looking to end this one. At least this inning gets a swing and a miss from Baker on a low breaking pitch. Hogg has struggled this summer so far. 18 ERA through 2 innings. Here comes a 0-1. That's tapped foul behind the plate. Hogg quickly in the lead in this count. It's 0-2. Baker hit a sac fly out to right his last time up. We're here in the bottom of the 7th, 5-1 game, YD up. The 0-2 pitch. Swing off the end of the bat, foul. Oh, 0-2 count to Baker. Home plate umpire giving Hogg a new baseball. Not your usual toss back out to the pitcher's mound, but wanted to go out to make a quick check, you could say.
Well, it gives Natilli behind the plate some extra time to catch his breath after that last pitch caught a piece of him.
Hogg comes set at his chest. Standing straight up on the first base side of the rubber, fires. That's lifted, a soft fly out into center field. Coming into play, it is Winfield makes the grab on a dive to end the frame. 5-1, Red Sox up on the Kettleers here on Cape League TV. We'll talk to you again in the top of the 8th.
Make sure to stop by Mid-Cape Oral Surgeons, the maxillofacial surgery and dental implant Gardens, Osterville's premier garden center. You'll find everything you need to beautify your home at Beacon Gardens, where quality products and excellent customer service makes them Osterville's premier garden center. Visit Beacon Gardens on Osterville, West Barnstable Road.
The Kettleers 50-50 raffle is brought to you by 4 Seas Ice Cream in Centerville, the oldest ice cream shop in Massachusetts. They've been in business 91 years, carrying many of the same unbelievable flavors. Visit 4 Seas Ice Cream and taste the difference. Get your 50-50 raffle tickets now.
From bean to bite, sip, savor, and share a moment at Cape Cod Coffee. Their 2 Mashpee locations include the perfect brunch spot at Mashpee Commons and a lunch and dinner restaurant with a full bar right off Route 130. Cape Cod Coffee has also opened a new location in Wareham Crossing, where you can indulge in delicious breakfast, lunch, and dinner options. Visiting any of these locations will leave you absolutely thrilled. Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
The Kettleers are sponsored by longtime Cotuit residents Pat and John Callahan of Kinlan Grover Compass. With over 4 decades.
New reliever out there for the Whitey Red Sox is Drew Conan. He's pitching with a 4-run lead. It's 5-1. Ketts down in the top of the 8th inning. Andrew Wiggins, Ryan Farber, Nolan Stevens due up 2 through 4 in their order. Wiggins looking to reach base for the first time today. He squares to bunt on a low pitch. Ball 1. Conan has a very tucked-in delivery. Keeps his glove hand tucked towards his body on a very short kick. And there's not much movement from the hand with the ball in it as he throws. That's low and away. The catcher, Bold, staunchly disagrees. Here's the pitch. 2-0 is low. Actually, I think that's Garrett Wright behind the plate now, and A.J. Soldra, pinch hitting for Bold, is now in left field for Wright. Here's the pitch, 3-0, just on the corner. It's 3-1. So Soldra stays in the game, the now Husky. And Wright moves back to his natural position. The 3-1 pitch is low. Wiggins gets on base for the first time today.
Cotuit loves to get the leadoff man on and is typically fairly successful when that happens. Still looking to get the leadoff man around today. This will be the fourth time that the man leading off an inning batting for the Kets has reached base.
So Wiggins, the transfer, is on first. Ryan Farber at the dish. Looking to get something going here in the 8th for the Kets. First pitch, taking a strike. It's Farber at the plate, Stevens on deck, Jack Natilli in the hole. Conan looks home, fires. Little low and outside, 1-1. Drew Conan out of Virginia, 270 ERA at school. The 1-1 offer, big swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. It's 1-2. Conan 6'3", 235. The right-handed pitcher from Park Ridge, Illinois. Here's the pitch. Swing and a low dribbler towards the third baseman. No play. And an infield hit for Ryan Farber. 2 on with no outs.
Well, right before that pitch, the infield for YD had shifted to their left. So the third baseman, Hakopian, had to cover a lot of ground. He ended up backhanding that baseball, but it was just a slow, soft dribbler off the bat of Farber. I mean, it didn't even leave the infield grass. Hakopian had to charge in on that.
Heck, they're lucky they could even keep it on the infield, like you said. So now it's Nolan Stevens batting with 2 runners on and no outs. That's a breaking pitch in there, a strike. 0-1 is the count. Wiggins is on second, Farber on first. Conan taking a long look at second, now goes home. Pitch outside. One and one count for Conan. Has allowed 2 base runners to start his frame. It's 2-1 now. Come in relief of Tyler Pitzer, who threw 2 innings of 1-run ball. Coming after the starter, Hunter Watkins, who pitched a gem. 5 scoreless. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Stevens put his ace swing on that one in the dirt. 2-2. Readjusts the batting gloves, steps back in the left-handed batter's box. He's ready with the wide stance. Conan readjusts on the mound. No windup, fires, swing, and a miss. On a pitch low and outside, just threw the bat at it.
It was a good piece of pitching up on the mound from Conan. Just went low and away, knowing that the swings would happen. And, I mean, that's what happens when you're able to get up in a count like that. He was just able to throw the pitches he wanted to.
Now it's the right-handed catcher, Jack Natilli, stepping in. Conan pitching with 2 runners on behind him. Farber on first. Wiggins on second, who reached with a leadoff walk. Farber singled towards third base to Chris Hakopian, who was shifted well off to his left. Conan took a reset. He stepped off the mound for a moment. Now he's set at the belt, firing home. Fastball upstairs, a ball. Natilli is hitless today. He reached on an error by Chris Hakopian back on the 6th. That scored Ryan Farber on his first single of the game. A strike, 1-1. Conan recalibrates with a 1-1 count. Natilli is ready in the batter's box with an uneven stance. Here comes the pitch, swing and a miss. Or actually, that was a hard foul that stopped right in the ground, left of home plate. 1-2 regardless.
Well, it was fouled off the chest of the home plate umpire, Rick Force, who is taking a deep breather near the YD dugout.
Training staff comes out to meet him. Sure that knocked the wind out of him. So a long break for everyone out on the field. Rick Force trying to get his bearings. I think they're taking a look at his wrist.
He's being tended to. They need to start bringing their own umpire athletic trainers.
I'm sure that's a thing somewhere.
Yeah, he's smiling. He's laughing.
Everyone's back out onto the field. The situation, 1-2 count. With 1 out, Drew Conan pitching to the right-handed stick. Jack Natilli, a righty-righty matchup. With Wiggins on second, on first is Farber. One and two pitch incoming. Conan comes set at the belt. No wind, fires, swing and a miss. On a pitch low, that changeup, tough to handle.
Back-to-back swinging strikeouts. Conan starting to find his groove up on the mound.
So Conan has done a good job of working out of trouble so far. Allowed 2 base runners with no outs, then struck out Stevens and Attili swinging. Now it's Camden Johnson. 1 hit today. Spits on a pitch in the dirt. 1-0. 2 swinging strikeouts as well today for Johnson, though. The left-handed swinging third baseman. That was his primary spot at Wichita State. Let's see where he plays at Oklahoma next year. A throw back to second. Wiggins was in there well before the throw with a dive. Shadows now drawing out to the outfield, at least in right field. Getting much darker out here. This game was at a breakneck pace until the bottom of the 5th. Pitches upstairs, 1-0. Now 2-0. We were maybe an hour deep into the game in the bottom of the 5th. But the pitchers got tired. There were more walks. And everything seemed to slow down from that point. We're in the top of the 8th. Pitch drew outside. It's 3-0.
Well, scoring, too. Every run scored in this game has been post the break in the middle of the 5th.
1 run scored in the 5th and the 6th for the Red Sox. Cotuit scored in the top of the 6th. And then 3 more scored by YD in the bottom of the 7th. It's 5-1. The team between Yarmouth and Dennis has the advantage at the, funnily enough, named Dennis Yarmouth Middle School. Fastball strike just got him over to stay in this count. Johnson with a hit today. Back in the left-handed batter's box. Conan fires home. Lifted hard out to left field, or behind the netting on the left side. It is now 3-2. Conan is back into this account. Full count, Conan versus Johnson. 2 runners on, 2 outs. Wiggins is on second. Conan battling his 23rd pitch of the inning. Here it comes. Chopper straight towards the mound. Conan fields with the glove. Low toss. Just in time. Got the runner. 2 runners left stranded for Cotuit. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. YD remains in the lead 5-1.
Be safe and comfortable in your home in any season with a Generac automatic standby generator from RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee. RCA does it all, from consultation to installation to maintenance. For more information, visit rcaelectric.com. RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee, generating trust.
The Kettleers top of the order is brought to you by Boston Hand to Shoulder, trusted orthopedic specialists for athletes and everyday people. Their expert team treats everything from sports injuries to everyday wear and tear, helping patients of all ages get back to what they love. Boston Hand to Shoulder is now on the Cape. Call 617-965-HAND for all your hand and upper extremity needs.
The Kettleers interns in the very popular t-shirt toss is brought to you by Paul J. Casalt & Sons, certified roofing experts, proudly serving Cape Cod and Plymouth since 1927. If you've got roofing, siding, or gutter needs, let the Casalt family take care of your family.
Be safe and comfortable in your home in any season with a Generac automatic standby generator from RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee. RCA does it all, from consultation to installation to maintenance. For more information, visit rcaelectric.com. RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee, generating trust.
Kettleers Baseball is brought to you by Mid-Cape Oral Surgeons, the maxillofacial surgery and dental.
Jomar Carreras up to bat for the YD Red Sox, the switch-hitting shortstop, batting it left-handed against Max Hogg. Into his first full inning of work tonight in a Cotuit uniform. He's thrown 2 innings before. Breaking pitch is low ball. Infield shifted to the right. Sharon Advincula playing in the outfield. It's Carreras. Soldra, as that one's tapped straight back towards Hogg, jogs towards first and flips it in time for out number 1.
Now batting for YD, the
but it's Carreras, Soldra, and Carpentier this inning. Soldra pinch hit for Jake Bold. He's in left field now. Garrett Wright is now the backstop for YD after Bold exited the game. Hogg readies on the mound, kicks and fires. That shot fell over the YD dugout. Hogg with almost a sidearm motion, closer to 3/4. Doesn't really lean into it, though, like most sidearm deliveries. Here it comes. Cracked down the first base line, foul. 0-2.
A lot of arm in his motion.
Must have a shoulder of steel.
Better than mine.
0-2. Hit on the ground, same spot, foul. We will do it again.
I mean, when guys get Tommy John, they come back throwing a couple miles per hour harder than when they, were before the surgery. So at this point, I mean, you tell guys just throw however you want, and if you get the surgery, so be it.
Well, there's always a risk of repeat surgery.
That there is.
The 0-2. Hit straight towards Hogg. He drops it, loses track of the ball, and fires it to first, but it's not in time. Hogg, the ball popped out of his glove. He looked behind him. The ball was in front of him, and then he found it, but the throw, quick, wasn't in time to get the runner.
I mean, it was impressive for him to reach down at that baseball and hook it over to first base. It was a pretty bang-bang play.
Check, number 9,
it was a good effort.
Pinch hitting from TCU.
Pinch hitter is Jack Bell from TCU, swinging it left-handed. It's another tough beat for the Kettleers in the field right there. An infield single. First pitch strike from Hogg to Bell. So it's Soldra on first. Carpentier's day is done. He gives way for Jack Bell, who hit 9th the other day. The pitch. Socked foul behind him. 0-2. Bottom of the 8th inning, 5-1 ball game. YD over Cotuit. The hurl back to first. Not in time to get the runner. Soldra at first. Bell at home. Swinging it left-handed. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Hogg his first strikeout.
Now batting for YD, the right fielder, number 8, Braden Dowd.
Brings up Braden Dowd. The first man on the lineup card, swinging it left-handed. A single and a walk, a line out and a ground out. Hogg has 2 outs. He's through a full inning of work. Runner goes, throw down, slide, tag in time. A seed from behind the plate by Jack Natilli gets the runner Soldra and retires the side. Scores 5-1. Cotuit looking to come back in their last chance in the top of the 9th.
Beacon Gardens is a proud sponsor of the Kets, Osterville's premier garden center. Located on Osterville, West Barnstable Road, Beacon Gardens prides itself on quality products and excellent customer service. Check out their tremendous assortment of garden products. That's Beacon Gardens, Osterville's premier garden center.
Boston Hand to Shoulder, trusted orthopedic specialist for athletes and everyday people, is your go-to team for Boston's professional athletes and people across New England. So if an injury is slowing you down, Boston Hand to Shoulder is now on Cape Cod. Call 617-965-HAND for all your hand and upper extremity needs. Go Cats!
Need an ice cream fix this summer? Stop by the Four Seas Ice Cream in Centerville, the oldest ice cream shop in Massachusetts. They've been in business 91 years, carrying many of the same unbelievable flavors. Visit Four Seas Ice Cream and taste the difference.
Hey, it's Chris, and when I'm looking for a cold treat, I go to Four Seas Ice Cream in Centerville, the oldest ice cream shop in Massachusetts. They've been in business 91 years, carrying many of the same unbelievable flavors. Visit Four Seas Ice Cream and taste the difference.
Hi, I'm Connor Shue. Kettleers Baseball is brought to you by longtime Cotuit residents Pat and John Callahan of Kinlan Grover Compass. With over 4 decades of experience in commercial lending and real estate, Pat and John are the go-to choice for all things real estate in Cotuit and surrounding towns. Visit them at 681 Falmouth Road in Mashpee. That's the Callahans from Kinlan Grover Compass.
New pitcher out there is Carson Marsh, looking to shut this one down in the top of the 9th. Cotuit, their last chance to bat. Anderson French, Rentaro Sasaki, and Easton Winfield, 7 through 9. The Hokie cry behind us for Anderson French, the Virginia Tech first baseman. Long delivery for Marsh, fires a fastball up and away. Kettleers looking for some 9th inning magic. Marsh into his long delivery, fires, swing and a miss, under the fastball. Rally caps on for the Cotuit fans. Kets down 4 in the top of the 9th. 1-1 count, the pitch, outside to French. French hit his last time up back in the 7th, hit a single, and was stranded there at first. Outside, 3-1. The throw back skipped away from Marsh. Marsh looking to buckle down on the first batter of the inning, French. The kick, the pitch. Low and outside. Ball 4 puts French on first. This broadcast is a copyrighted production of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Any unauthorized duplication, retransmission, or other use is strictly prohibited. That doesn't deserve a paper snap.
Does not.
That was awful. Oh, gosh. Jeez.
Oof. Got the message across, but
I think people heard the message just a little mushed up at the middle. Not my best. First pitch to Rentaro Sasaki is a strike, 0-1.
no one used this broadcast without copyrighted approval from the Cape League. That's the message, and you got that point.
Especially not the part where I said the copyright read. Marsh out of the stretch, fires home, swing and a miss on the high fastball. It's an 0-2 count. Sasaki digs back in. He homered last game. French is the runner on first with no outs here in the top of the ninth. 5-1 YD. Here's the pitch. Low and away. Rentaro worked a walk earlier today. It's the only time he's gotten on base. 1-2 count to him. Here comes. Upstairs. Ball 2. Marsh, the pitcher, a 7.50 ERA with Cincinnati this spring. Marsh kicks, deals, golfed in the air behind home plate, well out of play. 2-2.
On a 2-strike count, those are the pitches you need to be aggressive on, really protect that plate, and Sasaki was able to do just that.
He's locked into a 2-2 battle with Carson Marsh. Here's the pitch. Upstairs. Good take. Started to bring the bat around, but saw that one stay high in the zone and let it go by. 3-2. Sasaki 0 for 2 with a walk today. The 3-2 pitch. Low and inside on the corner, called strike 3. 1 down for Marsh.
Now batting for Cotuit, the center fielder.
Very delayed strike 3 call. I mean, it was borderline.
It's as close as you're going to get. 7th pitch of the at-bat, right in that inner corner. Marsh, the fire to Winfield. It's low. One 1-0 count for Easton Winfield with Anderson French on first. The 1-0. Taken a strike. Ball and a strike. 1 down, 1 runner on. Here it comes. Strike 2. Kettleers looking for their 3rd win of the season. Down 4 in the top of the 9th. The odds are against him. But they've been in many a close game, so it's a familiar situation. The 1-2. Low. Good take from Winfield, who is also searching for his first knock of the day. What a time it would be. The 2-2. Taken on the corner. Back-to-back called strike 3s. Carson Marsh is dotting his pitches up.
It's been in the same area, a little bit low and inside. It's that corner of the strike zone on these left-handed hitters, and they're taking it. And if you're getting those called strikes, don't stop throwing there.
Potential last hope today for the Cats. Jaron Advincula digs in the left-handed batter's box with 2 outs. A runner on first pitch to him. Socks it high in the air, tailing out towards left field, and it's into the glove of the left fielder. That's your ball game, 5-1. Red Sox win over the Cotuit Kettleers. YD improving to 8-2-1 on the young season in the Kettleers and the Doldrums. 2-7-1, Chris.
Well, it certainly, it's just a difficult stretch of games for Cotuit. I mean, nothing to take away from the 2-game undefeated streak kind of coming into this one, winning, and then there was the tie against Chatham. This one was a tough one from the get-go. I mean, YD was the best team in the league and still is, led the league in a lot of offensive and defensive statistics. I mean, pitching top tier as well. So it was really going to be an uphill battle, and for the Kettleers to stick with the Red Sox for as long as they did, I mean, that's impressive in and of itself. So I think there's still some stuff to work on, still some stuff to grow on. Take away the good. Those 4 scoreless innings from Deverman to start this game before surrendering a run in the 5th. I mean, that's a good takeaway. So it's still plenty to grow on.
I think I'd have to agree with you. That was really the main point of this game. Kenton Deverman came in and had a really nice start for the Kettleers. 5 innings of 1-run ball, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts. He was really solid.
Sorry. Yeah, I was writing down in my scorebook. I might have missed what you said. Was it about Deverman? Because if it was, I mean, yeah, we could still talk about Deverman because he had a good day. He surrendered his first walk of the season today, and I think that says something about his command. 4 strikeouts to his name as well. Overall, Cotuit pitching did a solid job of limiting those free passes. Only 3 walks and a hit by pitch, so did a good job of not letting guys get on base with those free passes. So another good takeaway from Kettleers pitching, which has been solid throughout this year.
Mason Davenport earned the loss for the Kettleers. Just a tough outing for him, and it was kind of contagious to the next. Him and Coppersmith gave up 4 of the 5 runs today, and that's been kind of a struggle. Sometimes it's those middle to early innings for the Kettleers where the pitching has really struggled for them. They've had some trouble in the late innings as well, but it seems like most of the time you get into that early 1 or 2 run hole and the offense just sometimes cannot pick it up, and I think today was one of those days.
Oh yeah, the crooked number in the bottom of the 7th where Whitey scored 3 runs, all of those off Coppersmith. That's a inning that really blew this game open. And I mean, it's hard to play down in later innings. It's even harder to play down when you're trailing by 4, knowing that you need that extra damage to really tack into. So it just some of those moments where you really got to take and grow from a game, and then just battle back. That's all you can really do. You just keep battling.
And YD, they entered this game with a league-leading 2.30 ERA, and their pitching staff really exemplified that. Hunter Watkins, 5 scoreless in his start. Tyler Pitzer, 1 run in 2 innings. And Drew Conan and Carson Marsh were able to shut it down in the 8th and the 9th innings, especially Conan. He allowed 2 leadoff base runners and then managed to just buckle it down with a pair of Ks. And Carson Marsh, similar thing, allowing that leadoff walk and then striking out 2 and effectively ending the ball game. And that was pretty much the explanation of this one. I think we'll cut this post game short. 5-1 ball game. YD wins over Cotuit. Everyone, have a great night.